And thank you for joining us tonight on this Memorial Day like no other Oklahoma has ever seen. Tonight, we're going to be introducing you to several people we call heroes. It's a title they accept reluctantly. Some of them you may feel like you already know. By the end of the half hour, you'll know them all just a little bit better. Our first hero tonight wears a badge of honor, Sergeant John Avery with the Oklahoma City Police Department. First of all, I guess, take us back to April 19th. What were you doing just before the bomb went off?
April 19th, I was assigned to move our DNA lab. We're opening a new DNA lab, and I had dressed down in blue jeans so I could move our equipment from the storage area in the police station to the new lab across the street. And we have labs in the basement, and we have labs in the police station. I actually thought one of the labs had blown up. That was my first impression, or maybe somebody had just actually blown up the police station. And so I ran outside and looked at the police station, and it was still standing. And I scanned the sky, and I saw this big white pillar of smoke going up in the air, a pillar of dust or something going in the air. And I realized that there was an explosion somewhere in the northeast part of downtown Oklahoma City. A man walked up to me and said there was a daycare center inside the building. And so I just crawled through the first window I saw there on the northwest side of the federal building. It was so dusty you could hardly breathe, and I heard a baby crying. And we stopped and started digging under the rocks where we heard the baby cry, and we uncovered the baby. And while we was uncovering it, we found two in this one hole that we was digging, about 3 to 4 inches under the rocks. Some of the concrete we was lifting off of the babies was so heavy it took two of us to pick them up and lay them to the side. The first baby, the one that's crying, Sergeant Helmuth took that baby and left the way he knew how to come in the building. I picked up the second baby, and which was Bailey, and exited the building with her.
Did you find yourself having to talk about this stuff quite a bit in order to get through it, or did you?
I didn't have a chance. They took the picture of me. The photographer took the picture that everybody saw, and the next morning I went to work as my regular job, and they told us not to go anywhere, stay around the station, so if they needed us, they could utilize us. But right now they didn't have anything for us to do. So I stayed at the office, and at 11:30 I was eating dinner, and I told very, very few people that I'd even been to the building. It's something that I was keeping very private to myself, and I was very sad. I was not very active that day. And I can't remember who it was. Anyway, one of the sergeants called me and on the telephone said, "John, did you carry a baby out of the building yesterday?" And I said, "Yes, I did. Why?" And he said, "Well," he said, "there's a picture in the Daily Oklahoman." And he said, "Let me call you back." And 2 or 3 minutes he called me back, and he said, "John, your picture's all over the world." And I said, "You're kidding." He says, "No." He said, it's serious." And he said, "They've been looking for whoever this officer was all day long." He said that they had no idea who it was.
You, later on, then you met Bailey's mother.
That's correct.
Very emotional situation.
It's probably one of the best things ever happened to me in my life.
Really?
It's still emotional to me. It still brings out the emotions in me, but...
Thank you so much for getting her out of there. Thank you so much for getting her out. No. At least she's out of there.
I learned there that I can go talk to anyone that's having problems. And until this time in my life, if someone was having some real serious problems, had lost anybody in their family, I wasn't able to, I didn't know what to say to them. Yeah. And since this time, I have called people up, I've been to their homes, and I take time out to go visit people that are hurting. And so the meeting of her is what changed my life as far as being able to handle that, not what I saw in the building or did in the building. It's the way she treated me when I walked up there. You know, she said, "Thank you, thank you, thank you." And I was really surprised because I knew I brought the baby out. I didn't think it was, in fact, I knew it wasn't alive. And I didn't know what the mother would say. But
You were afraid maybe at first that, you know, that you had failed her, that she would...
That she would feel like I failed her, yes. Yeah. And I was extremely worried about that. And I didn't know what I was going to say to her. And you don't have to say anything. And that's what I've learned, is you don't have to say anything to anybody that's hurting. You just be there. And I've been hurting, and there's been thousands of people there for me over this deal. And I've learned that as they come to me, the ones that don't say anything sometimes are the ones I like, that's done me the best. They just stand there and look at me with a tear in their eye, and it says, you know, I'm not the only one, and it has helped, yes.
John, we started the show talking about heroes. How do you consider yourself a hero? I mean, a lot of people do.
I don't feel like a hero, but I found out real fast that when people said something like to me, if I thought it hurt their feelings because they wanted something to hang on to. And so I've accepted what people are calling me without arguing about it. But in my heart, I still feel like I've done no more than what anybody else would have done in my situation. I think a hero is somebody that does something that nobody else would do. And I saw lots of policemen in there. I saw lots of firemen going in there. I saw lots of civilians going in that building. Something that everybody does doesn't make you a hero. It's something that nobody else will do. So no, I don't feel like it. But if you want to call me that, I accept it, and thank you for it, and we'll go on my way with it.